Hello, and welcome to Fantasy Football Talk. I'm Jared Thompson. This is Nathan Zeldman, and that's Noel Reagan. And this is going to be a show where we have 2 videos a week, reviewing the past week and preparing you for the next week to hopefully win your league. So we'll give you good advice for that. Now, we'll get right into it. Our first segment is Top Flop, which brings you the top players from each position from this past week, and then the players that flopped from each position. So we'll start with quarterback. Nolan, your top quarterback of the week?
I thought that the Vikings showed a great offensive threat, so I took Sam Bradford as my top quarterback this week. He obviously, Teddy Bridgewater is injured, so Sam Bradford had the calling position for starter. He looked really better in the pocket this year than last year, and he also has an upgraded wide receiver and running back outlets, including Dalton Cook as a rookie out of Ohio State. My flop for the week, though, I have to say is Eli Manning. The man did not have much to do with their loss against the Cowboys in Week 1. He had a lot of targets to Sterling Shepard, their slot receiver, but without Odell Beckham Jr. on their lineup, they did not have any success in the deep ball. Brenda Marshall was not influential at all. He only had a couple targets here and there. He had 1 catch in the 4th quarter. So I think Eli Manning only had 6 points and was ranked number 27 as a quarterback. He threw 27-32 for 220 yards and an interception. So the O-line was not protecting him at all. Nathan, what do you got for top pick for quarterback this week?
My top quarterback was Alex Smith. He had a great game against what's supposed to be a strong Patriots defense.
16-0.
Especially their passing.
Yeah, he threw 368 yards with four touchdowns. That was a great game. Credit to Tyreek Hill though for really.
Yeah.
The main receiver out there.
Alex Smith had a better game than Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
So I would totally pick Alex Smith.
368 yards and 4 touchdowns. And what about your flop at quarterback?
Carson Palmer. He threw 3 interceptions against kind of a weak Lions defense. Really has no weapons out there to help him.
Yeah,
is kind of old. David Johnson's hurt now. That affects them a lot.
Who did play him? The Lions, correct?
Yeah. Kind of weak.
Is their defense pretty good? Or no? They don't have really high ranked, do they?
No.
All right, and my top QB of the week was Matthew Stafford. He was 29 of 41 for 292 yards and 4 touchdowns. Fantasy owners would like to get 300 yards and get bonus points, but nonetheless, he has quality receivers in Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, and new and upcoming Kenny Golladay. And I think this performance proves that Matthew Stafford is at a QB1 level. He can start, and many people have him as a backup.
The money was worth it.
Yeah, he's the highest paid player.
Highest paid player in the league.
And it proves, I think, that he can start in many fantasy leagues.
He had 34 points as well.
Exactly.
And only 47%.
Is that on ESPN?
Correct, on ESPN PPR League.
Yeah.
Only 47% of people started Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
and
I think that will go up.
And whoever had him,
Matthew Stafford threw 41 times. That's going to be consistent. He's going to throw the ball.
41?
Yeah, the Lions are a throwing team.
If they're losing, he's a gunslinger. He's going to throw the ball a lot.
They got no running back either.
Amir Abdullah at this point.
Alright, so let's transition.
My flop QB is my very own Andy Dalton. 16 of 31 for 170 yards and 4 interceptions with a fumble loss.
The red rifle was the red shotgun.
A red BB gun. More like that.
Do they have lowest QBR?
Yes. You got it. Third lowest in NFL history since 2006. You got to credit the Ravens defense.
They do well.
They played really well, but
forced a lot of turnovers.
It was bad.
Especially in the red zone.
The fumble and 2 picks were on the Ravens side of the field. That can't happen. I think Andy Dalton proves that you shouldn't start at all in fantasy leagues. Heck, might not even be on the team. I do think it will be his worst performance of the year. It can get much worse than that.
Yeah.
But it's just if you're gonna start him, it's taking a risk.
Yeah, only 6.6% of people started him last week, and he had an ownership rating of 49%, which has now dropped to 19% in the past couple days. He only had -4 points in ESPN PPR leagues. So he did not help you a single bit. He actually didn't hurt you too much. So.
Yes. All right, now let's go to our top running backs. Nathan, you want to do top running back?
My top running back was Lesean Mccoy. He had 110 yards. It felt like he was burning the Jets the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets are.
He had control of it.
I'm sorry for you Jets fans.
Yeah, sorry, Jets fans. Yeah.
I would say for my best running back, the rookie, Kareem Hunt. He had 41.5 points, and he was rated the number 1 running back after week 1. He had
number 1 player.
Number 1 player,
Week
yeah. He had 246 yards in scrimmage, and he had 148 yards rushing and 1 touchdown, and 98 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. So he did top the charts for me. He was crushing the Patriots left and right. Didn't know anything to expect from him. Alex Smith was dishing him the ball. He had a 30-yard touchdown run or reception for a run.
70 yards.
It was
reception.
a 30-yard reception plus a yards after the catch.
Yeah.
So it was a great run for him and a great touchdown.
He's showing his potential.
He should be a pickup. He's 100% owned now, 100% starting, which is a must.
Yeah, so whoever got him, like I say, 5th
PPR
round or something, is a steal. My top running back is Dalton Cook.
Oh yeah.
He broke Adrian Peterson's record for most rushing yards in debut with the Vikings. The only running back to rush for more yards was Kareem Hunt. Dalton Cook, he got the ball with 22 carries. He got 127 yards on 22 carries. He's not going to get the ball that much every game, but especially how good the Vikings are playing in Bradford, it was a bad Saints defense, but they do have some good linebackers and defensive tackle and Rankins.
Yeah.
And so Dalvin Cook was able to bust out some long runs, and my flop running back of the week, none other than Eddie Lacy. Now, 5 times he ran the ball,
Gets paid to lose weight.
3 yards. This game was his chance to start. He could have broken out,
With Thomas Rawls.
got the starting job, impressed all these fantasy owners. That was brutal. And that's, you may say only got the ball 5 times because of his first few runs. He didn't want to get the ball. He was losing yards. You got to credit the Packers defensive tackle Daniels. He had
It's a
to.
monster game.
He was stopping everyone. And now Lacey's not. He could be 3rd on the depth chart behind CJ Precise and Chris Carson, the rookie. So, my information: if you have any listening fantasy team, get rid of them.
Rookies are taking over.
Yes. All right, Nathan, your flop.
My flop was Adrian Peterson. His debut on the Saints was kind of sad, I'll say.
He's pissed.
Disappointing. He never really got an opportunity though. Only 6 carries. I think he played a total of 10, 11 snaps. He wasn't on the field a lot. I don't think he even caught a pass. Did he catch a pass?
He did not impress his former team.
so.
He did not impress them.
They're much happier with Dalvin Cook.
Sad playing against the Vikings though. He had 6 carries for 18 yards. If you started him, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, I'd say my flop, even though he's owned by 100% of people and started by 100% of people, he only had 6 points, is Demarco Murray. I don't think he got some points for you, but he wasn't productive as he should be for a number 1 running back out of Tennessee. He only had 44 yards rushing and 16 yards receiving, and he's listed as the number 38 running back points-wise. He didn't get all the snaps, as Derrick Henry did share snaps with him. I'm not exactly how many snaps he had, but he had a good amount of snaps. I think you should worry about if he doesn't play well against Jacksonville this week, week 2. Jacksonville has a really good defense, and they should be able to stop him, I believe so.
DeMarco Murray?
Correct.
No, they play. Okay, you're right, Jacksonville. Sorry.
Yeah,
My
Jacksonville
bad.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's my fault.
In Jacksonville.
That kind of sucks for fantasy owners wise, because he's a second round selection.
He is a first, second round selection.
Yeah,
Third round,
Right.
maybe.
But I think he will get in his group. I think he'll be worth the pick. All right, now we'll go to receivers. I'll do my top receiver, Tyreek Hill. Can't really argue it. 133 yards receiving on 7 catches, so he's getting the ball, and he had a touchdown. The dude's fast.
Yeah, he's
Very,
speedy.
very fast.
I
He runs by.
I saw a stat during the game saying he got like 5th or 6th place in that London Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. He dealt with some cramps during the game,
It's like
but
fourth quarter,
he
though.
said it'd be fine. Yeah, exactly. He was pumped, got in the game. And a lot of questions was, can he be the Chiefs had no receivers? Can he be the receivers more of like utility, can play anywhere kind of thing?
Yeah.
And I think he's proven he can play receiver. He can play slot, or heck, he can run the deep route too. He's wide open.
Yeah.
And Alex Smith's proven he can throw the deep ball.
He's pretty much
And-
Drew Brees' Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and do my flop receiver, Martavis Bryant. Now, 2 catches for 14 yards. It wasn't good.
Wow.
But if you think about it, besides Antonio Brown, who really on the Steelers' offense didn't do much against Cleveland. Martavis Bryant, sorry. I'm not saying he's a start receiver every week, but he's still not a bad flex or to have on your bench. I wouldn't drop him.
Yeah.
He's had a bad week, but he has big playability.
Yeah.
He can run the deep ball, and Ben Roethlisberger will give it to him. I think it'll be his worst week this year. I think he'll do a lot better. And the only problem was he didn't get targeted downfield, which is where he makes his plays, and that's because Antonio Brown's all the time.
Yeah, he only had 2 points for
Exactly.
ESPN, started by 33.5% people. So they missed out on a better receiver in possibly Adam Thielen or anybody who went off week 1. I would go with my top receiver. I went with Stephon Diggs with his Randy Moss signed shoes. He had 24.5 points on ESPN PPR leagues. He was rated as the number 1 receiver in front of Antonio Brown. If that sounds crazy to you. He had 93 yards and 2 touchdowns, and unfortunately he had -6 yards rushing, but that doesn't define who he is. The 2 touchdowns propelled his way to the top of the wide receiver list.
Yeah, top of the list.
And
On NFL Network or NFL Fantasy, he got 20 points, highest for receivers.
However, he'll be the number 2 wide receiver this week against Pittsburgh,
Higher? Wow.
as Adam Thielen will be the number 1 wide receiver this week against Pittsburgh.
He will?
Yes, I read that on ESPN this year.
So that's good. And so that means Joe Hayden.
Joe Hayden's going to be guarding
Maybe
Joe
on
Hayden's going to
Thielen.
be on Thielen.
And Diggs,
So that
even
could
though
be a good thing for Diggs.
Diggs goes from slot.
That's what Thielen caught most of the pass from, though, the slot.
Yeah, well, I think they'll move it around because Diggs can go to the slot. And then the Steelers are going to have 2 injuries. Bud Dupree be out, and then Tuitt. They just get big money to.
Yeah, tore the bicep, right?
Yeah, tore his bicep.
So
they're not going to be able to get after Bradford. If he gets time, he'll find his receivers.
So if the Stephon Diggs is actually owned by 100% of people, which is not expected. But if he's in your league, you're going to want to trade for him. He's only starting 62% of the time. So 40% of people aren't starting him. So might be a good trade to get from somebody for him. My flop of the week was Brenda Marshall from the Giants. He only had 1.5 points, and he only had 10 yards and 1 reception. He is ranked as number 80 wide receiver on ESPN PPR list. He didn't have a catch till the 4th quarter, and honestly, the second-year man out of Oklahoma, Sterling Shepard, looked better than him and was more effective. However, he might be able to bounce back against Detroit, poor secondary in week 2.
Yeah.
He just wasn't getting targeted at all. He had 4 targets, a catch. Eli Manning wasn't utilizing him. He was supposed to be the number 1. Never caught a ball. The Cowboys just shut him down.
Yes.
Him and Martavis Bryant, I was expecting a lot more out of, to be honest.
Yeah, big red zone guys.
Yeah.
All right.
My top receiver, obviously. Pretty sure he'll be the top for a lot of weeks here. Antonio Brown. But yeah, 180 yards. He had a fumble though. That sucked. Dude. But for fantasy, dude, that was loving my Sunday when I had Antonio Brown.
Roethlisberger, he's gonna throw it to him. He looks for him all the time. He's gonna throw it to him.
Yeah, every play he's looking his direction.
Yeah.
Brown
He is the go-to man in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And he'll have a good week, I think, this week as they play at home against the Vikings.
Yeah.
Even though they might try to shut them down, Pittsburgh's really good at home.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to win.
Yeah.
Alright, your flop?
My flop, Kelvin Benjamin. I thought Cam Newton would target him a lot more. Now that he's back, he's their main receiver. Him and Olsen kind of run the show there, I think, in receiving.
Yeah, he's a big man.
He only had
He should have
1 catch, 25 yards. Bro.
He should have more catches than
And
targets.
what I've seen, Cam didn't look the sharpest this week. Yeah, he
He's
missed
kinda
some wide
injured,
open. Yeah, but he missed some wide open throws. But Benjamin, he was expected to do much last year too.
Yeah.
But he was kind of disappointing. So, all right, now we'll move to tight end. Nolan, you want to do your top tight end of the week?
So my top tight end was Jesse James, Pittsburgh Steelers tight end. You may not have heard of this name ever before, but all the top tight ends pretty much did not do well this week.
Yep.
So lower end tight ends shine this week, as Jesse James had 19 points and 41 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is listed as the number 1 tight end as of right now for week 1, and as he rises to the top. He did play the Browns though, as it might question how good he actually is. But he will be playing good Vikings defense week 2, so we'll see how they match up against them.
And
But
Roethlisberger's targeting him in the end red zone, which
In
is
the
good.
end-
So if
in
you're in
the
the
red zone.
ESPN league and you get lots of
the
touchdowns,
Vikings defense is known for not giving up touchdowns to tight ends, only just big yardage plays.
Kobe Fleener did get some yards, against. I think Fleener got a touchdown
Yeah,
too, right?
he got a touchdown.
So he actually did get a touchdown against the 54 yards and a touchdown against the Vikings, but
I believe that Jesse James is only 19.7% owned on ESPN leagues, so you'll most likely be 80% of the time be able to pick him up right out of free agency. I did that this week myself.
you can wait, and then if he has another good week,
Yeah,
then
and that's for sure.
You gotta go
you
get
gotta get him. He was only started by 8% of the league, so 8 out of 100 people.
I don't blame you for not getting him in the first place. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
they traded for Vance McDonald from the 49ers too, who I thought would be the number 1, but Jesse James has proven he possibly. All right, Nolan, your flop tight end?
Oh, my flop tight end was Greg Olsen. He only had 2 points and 18 yards on 2 receptions.
Another Panther.
He is one of the go-to guys in Carolina, but he did not have great success, as he only was targeted 4 times, and he was 2 for 4 on catches against the 49ers, who don't seem to be a great team, as everyone should know.
Yeah.
But Olsen should have a rebound week against the Bills and is projected 12.5 points. He is owned by at least 100% of people, but not started by every single person. So
Yeah.
he's
not even on the
he's just one of those top tight ends and just did not have a great week.
Yeah, I think he'll bounce back too. He's been consistent every year. I'll go to my tight end. My top tight end, you can't argue really, Austin Hooper. I mean, you can say he only got 2 receptions, which isn't the best, obviously, but if they're for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns,
That's the best.
I'm sorry, 1 touchdown, then you can't really complain. He had a lot of offseason hype, becoming the number 1. I mean, ever since Tony Gonzalez retired, that was the time I really had a tight end, solid tight end. Hooper, he's trying to become that, and Matt Ryan, if Hooper's doing what he's doing, he's going to look for him.
Matt Ryan's top tier quarterback.
Exactly. So Matt Ryan can be confident in him. And so I think Hooper has the potential of a great year.
Hooper's only owned by 68% of people,
Yes,
so he should be available in
I would-
30% of leagues.
I wouldn't say he's a start every week kind of guy, but on the bench, that's not bad. My flop tight end is Jimmy Graham, Seattle Seahawks, 3 catches, 8 yards. Again, credit Green Bay's defense. Seattle didn't really do anything this week.
Their offense just struggled.
I wouldn't worry too much about Jimmy Graham, but his numbers aren't going to be the same ever since he went to Seattle, and like they were in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But if you got him in late round as a tight end, he's not a bad bench. Or even if you do start him, I think he'll get you consistently points. I don't think he'll go off at all, but
It's good value pick.
he'll be consistent. Yeah, good value. All right, Nathan.
My top tight end of the week was Zach Ertz. He had a game, 8 catches for 90 yards as a tight end. That's huge. Especially who the Eagles have now. Alshon Jeffrey, right?
Yes.
I'm surprised he's not getting targeted a lot more.
Oh, Josh Norman was on him.
Oh yeah.
They got
Yeah.
top tier.
Yeah, Ertz,
corners.
93 yards, almost
Yeah.
100 yards receiving.
Yeah, that's big for a tight end. And then my flop was Rob Gronkowski. I don't think he'll do this more, but
No,
He
don't
just-
worry, but
he got shadowed by Eric Berry the whole game. It was rough to
yes.
see him get
Curry
going.
got torn.
And then, yeah.
Achilles,
Brady will
right?
find Gronk. Gronk will get
Yeah,
touchdowns.
Achilles.
He's a Hall of
Aaron
Famer
Berry
already. He's
tore
going to
his
score.
Yeah.
All right.
Injury prone, so.
Now for kicker and defense, you don't really have like someone
We
each.
didn't put a particular player, but we have. I think
For
we all
kicker-
agree that the Raiders kicker. I forget his name.
Giorgio Tavachio.
That guy had a day, dude.
He went off in Oakland, and Janikowski obviously on the IR with his back injury. He might not come back to the Raiders if Gabio Giorgio Cavaccio.
He had two 52-yard field goals.
Exactly.
So,
2 extra points, 2 50-plus, a 1 with 40 to 49, and then like a 20-something yarder.
So
that's pretty good.
4 or 5.
18. He had 4 field goals and 2 made extra points.
So
18 fantasy points on.
That's like 2 players.
Fantasy NFL.
And the Raiders have a really good offense, so they'll be driving down the field a lot. If they're not scoring, he's kicking the ball.
So another good kicker that he was obviously Greg Zerline. Greg the Leg.
Greg the Leg.
He had 5 made extra points because the Rams were all over the Colts. And 3 field goals, 1 50-plus. Greg Zerline's always been, he always can hit the long ones.
Yeah. I would say maybe the Rams kicker Greg isn't a great choice in the long run as they play better opponents during the year, but
you're not going to score as much as
but it could help out some points here and there.
But I can guarantee you, not many people have chose the Raiders kicker Giorgio Cavaccio.
Oh yeah.
So if he's still available, I doubt it now. I would go pick him up personally. For busts for kicker this year, or for the flops, I mean, Adam Vinatieri.
Oh yeah, no.
As of right now, until Andrew Luck is back on the field, they're not going to have a lot of production on offense.
But they need to make their field goals if they want a chance. And Vinatieri missed an extra point.
Missed like a 30-yarder.
Yeah, it was just disappointing from him. All right, now we'll go to our defense. There's a lot of. It was a defensive
week.
You got Rams, Jaguars, Ravens, all quality defenses that.
Eagles did really well as well.
Eagles did well. Quality defense that are deserving. I personally think the Rams are the most impressive, only because 2 pick-six.
Yeah.
A safety. Yeah. I guess you can say impressive because they have a good defense. You know that already. But they didn't have Aaron Donald. Imagine they had it too. But fantasy-wise, they helped you out big time.
Oh yeah.
I faced a guy in my league who got 37 points out of Rams defense.
Oh yeah,
in Yahoo. So I'm here, 28 points. That's crazy from a defense. They'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, and they're only owned by, but you said Rams, correct?
Yeah.
44% of people. So it's pretty likely it's out there still.
Yeah.
Adding 14% as the week goes on.
Yeah.
It goes on. I think
the Rams were playing a weak Colts offense, though.
That's true. But, I mean, pick up any defense that plays the Colts offense.
Yeah, pick up Arizona next week.
Yeah. Obviously, another defense is Jacksonville. 10 sacks.
I think any team that plays the Texans or
the
Browns are going to have a good week.
The Texans?
Yeah, the Jags for the Texans, correct? Yeah. And they had a lot of sacks, like you said.
3 fumbles, a pick, and they got their touchdown of their own. Also 28 points on here.
Campbell had 4 sacks alone.
Exactly, and he was a big offseason signing from Arizona, Jacksonville.
Yeah, Pro Bowler.
Another, honestly, the last defense we'll look at is the Ravens. You can't argue a shutout and 4 interceptions with a fumble recovery. That's
big time. That's
all from Dalton.
Yes.
Added 25% this week.
Yes. So 5 sacks as well. They're just all over the Bengals offensive line. All right. So that was our top players of the week. Now we're going to go to look at some transactions players you should pick up or be worried about if you have them on your team. So let's go right into it. Players you should add if they're still available. First one I'll start us off. Kenny Galladay.
Yes.
On the line of receiver. He was, if you look at points wise, he's right up there with Antonio Brown.
He's above Antonio Brown.
Exactly. All right there with the top guys. You can say it's 1 week. Stafford's not going to throw 4 touchdowns every week, but he goes confidence. Golden Tate's more of a slot, you know what I mean, kind of Julian Edelman kind of guy. But the deep balls, you have Marvin Jones as well, but if Stafford likes Galladay, he's going to keep going to him. Expect him to improve because Stafford is a gunslinger. He's going to throw.
Yeah.
He's got big playability, so.
If he continues this play, the Lions have so much weapons. Their offense will be crazy this year.
Yes.
I'd like to add to the waiver wire. Even though he actually isn't available in any ESPN league as of right now, but he could be a good trade proposal to get him. He's only started in 22% of leagues, and Adam Thielen, the number 1 receiver out of the Vikings, in front of Diggs as of right now for week 2. He should have another good week against Pittsburgh, even though, maybe not as great as a week, but he's getting hard guarded by Joe Hayden. But if Sam Bradford is doing well, he will get some good passes.
No touchdowns, but 157 yards receiving. That's a lot.
19.5 points on ESPN.
If he adds a touchdown,
which is pretty good.
How much is that? 20 points?
That's more points, exactly. So the Vikings, they're showing Bradford stays consistent, then those receivers will be good. Nathan, you want to... Tariq Cohen.
So, yes. Tariq Cohen. It looked kind of weird with Jordan Howard, but he did kind of take over come the game.
8 catches, 47 yards, 5 carries, 66 yards, and a receiving touchdown. For everyone that has Howard, he's still a starter.
Yeah, still starter.
But it shows Cohen is a threat in the passing game as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had 47 yards and a touchdown receiving, 8 catches. Especially with now the Bears' top 2 receivers, Cameron Meredith and Kevin White being out.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his catches.
There's a lot of touches.
From Glenn and Orchardisc, whoever they end up going with. Howard's still a starter though. He'll get most of the rushes. So Cohen's not must-start kind of guy, but we can pick him up.
We also said this name earlier in the show, but if he's available, Alex Smith, the quarterback, not the tight end from Washington. He is 51%. Yes, there's a tight end from Washington named Alex Smith. He has 0
who's
points.
gonna pick up that guy?
Okay, I'm just making sure.
2%
people on him. Okay,
go on.
So Alex Smith, quarterback, is owned by 51% of people. So he's pretty likely might be in your league. He had a great week, as Nathan has stated, against the Patriots. So and he has great outlets with the rookie and Tyreek Hill on the offense, obviously.
And last one to pick up, who I like is they said came out a few days ago. Kerwin Williams is going to be the starter for the Cardinals.
Oh yeah.
Is he a rookie?
I don't
know. He's a rookie, but
they do have a lot of running backs.
They have Ellington as well, and they just re-signed Chris Johnson. I heard Kerwin Williams the starter, Ellington the backup, but honestly, either one of them, because Williams will be more rushing. Ellington will get receiving. They're gonna do screens in him. That's what they're gonna do. And Palmer needs to look at them instead of forcing it downfield all the time and throwing interceptions.
Dude, CJ2K.
Yeah,
I can't forget about that guy.
Chris Johnson. All right, and yeah, so those are the best pickups available. If they're available, check them out. All right, so players not necessarily you should drop right away, but just be worried about. My first one's Brenda Marshall.
Yeah.
He was number 1 this last week. He's playing Dallas. And so Sunday night football, pressure's on. The whole Giants offense didn't look good, but he was their number 1 receiver. He did nothing. Now he's gonna be a number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
Which could help him in the sense of playing second corner now, if ODB's back. Or it'll hurt him because Eli's gonna look at Odell Beckham.
OBJ not even play with 2 either. So I mean, he could be a hero over there. It really depends.
Yeah.
I like him more when Odell is playing.
He'll probably be more of a threat because Odell's gonna have the best corner out of him.
Yeah.
So,
but Eli is still going to look at Odell over
every time.
Yeah.
He's the go-to.
Another one, Joe Mixon.
Oh yeah.
All the fantasy charts, he was rated so high.
Oh yeah, he was rated.
I never agreed with that. He's splitting with Bernard and Hill.
Oh my, 99% of people.
No, that's not
And he had 2.5 points for the third string running back for the Bengals.
And it's not going to be like that every time. He'll get some carries, but Bernard's gonna be in there and Hill's gonna be in there. Everyone's acting like he's a starter. He's not a starter.
Yeah, we'll see Thursday night.
Yeah, he carries.
We'll see Thursday night against the Texans.
Yes. On NFL Network and NBC.
I would be worried about. I mean, obviously both these guys got injured. David Johnson. I wouldn't drop him necessarily.
Yes, injury news.
4% of people actually dropped David Johnson this week, which is kind of awkward, but. I think you should totally keep him for right now, but his injury, you can't play him for 12 weeks, correct? A couple months.
Yes.
But he'll be good for playoffs if you have him and you're in the playoffs, which is highly doubtful, but we'll see.
Bruce Arians said he's hoping he can come back by Christmas, though, and that's fantasy week 16.
Is David Johnson?
So it's either you're in the Super Bowl or he's probably not playing for you.
And the Cardinals will not make the Super Bowl, I'm sorry.
Some more injury news. Pete Carroll said that Thomas Rawls will expect to be back this week, but that means it hurts more on Eddie Lacy.
Yeah, Eddie Lacy.
Yeah,
But
Eddie Lacy
Chris
crap.
Carson,
He
he
didn't
did
do
say Chris Carson is going to get playing time, so that's not bad. Like add 2 running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Odell
Chris
Beckham.
Carson.
Odell Beckham, they don't know yet. At least he has an extra day because they play Monday night.
Yeah.
So if you have him, it's going to be close.
It'll be a game time
It
decision.
could be a game time decision.
Also dropped Allen Robinson. He tore his ACL over the weekend. I
Drop
think
him.
you guys probably might have heard the news about that, but definitely get rid of him on that. So,
All right. And all right. I think that is it for today. Thank you guys for watching. We'll come back in a few days, talk about the preview for week 2.
Week 2, baby!
Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us at Twitter at Talk Football FB, or Talk Fantasy FB. Holy moly! Talk Fantasy FB. And if you have any questions, tweet us and
Comments.
Thank you for watching.
alright, thank you.